The DEA raids a Vegas pharmacy. The target again, Dr. Conrad Murray.
Plus, the list of those claiming to be the parents of Jackson's kids keeps growing.
His biological father is my official high school sweetheart and official fiance.
Then, Michael's friend talks about the King of Pop's biggest fear as a father.
This is why he made them wear the masks and, all that crazy stuff that they used to wear.
Also, the man at the center of the Anna Nicole death investigation is back in court.
And rolling out the inglorious red carpet for Brad and Angelina.
It's fun, right? It's like you wave and they yell.
That was fun.
Hollywood 411 starts right now.
From the gateway to showbiz glory, this is Hollywood 411.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to this Michael Jackson special edition of Hollywood 411. I'm Chris Harrison.
And I'm Veronica Cruz in for Madison Michelle.
Armed with a search warrant, DEA agents arrived at a Vegas pharmacy Tuesday, and according to TMZ, they were looking for computer hard drives, documents that might relate to Conrad Murray's prescriptions to Michael Jackson, and shipping info about meds that may have been sent to Murray.
Authorities have already searched Murray's Vegas home and offices, as well as his offices in Houston, as he remains a target in the investigation. However, no charges have yet been filed against him.
All right, now to the Jackson court battle, and Monday's hearing was supposed to help the Jackson family settle some business affairs. But as with anything else involving the Jackson family, it wasn't quite that simple. Exhibit A, an impromptu news conference outside the courthouse once again raised the question, who really are the biological parents of Michael's children?
As for the youngest, Blanket, his biological father is my official high school sweetheart and official fiance.
That was Cruz at an LA courthouse yesterday, the latest interesting character to file a claim that she's the biological mother of Michael Jackson's kids. She joins a list of candidates that grows by the day. So who really is responsible for bringing Prince Michael, Paris, and Prince Michael II into this world? Well, your guess is as good as ours. First, there's Michael himself, who, according to his brother Jermaine, is the biological father of all three children. Well, Jermaine, not so fast. There are two other men that beg to differ. Jackson's dermatologist, Dr. Arnie Klein, told Larry King that he donated sperm on Michael's behalf, while longtime friend and godfather to his children, Mark Lester, also claims to have given his baby makers to Michael.
I would assume that the one that looks most like me is Paris.
As for the woman on the receiving end of all this, for a long time, Jackson's ex-wife, Debbie Rowe, was believed to be the biological mother of Jackson's two eldest children, Prince Michael and Paris. And according to the courts, that still stands. But it didn't stop Cruz from making some questionable claims to motherhood outside court Monday.
I conceived them in my body, and they were safely removed from my body.
But wait, there's more. Enter Tom Cruise. Fields claims that she and Michael are the biological parents of Tom's son, Connor.
He was very happy that Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman wanted his child. He did not want his own child because of the color of his skin.
Another woman in court yesterday was Billie Jean Jackson. Yeah, that's her real name. And she says that she is the mother of Prince Michael II, better known as Blanket. She even claims that Michael's hit song Billie Jean proves that she and Michael fathered the child together, even though the song was released in 1983 and Blanket wasn't born until 2002. And finally, how about Michael's supposed secret son, Omer Body? Well, according to Joe Jackson, Michael is definitely the 25-year-old's biological father. But if you ask Omer himself, you get a different story. Body has told multiple sources that he is not Michael's biological son.
Okay.
And as potential parents for Michael's kids keep coming out of the woodwork, there are new details about Paris, Prince, and Blanket and their relationship with their father, as Michael's longtime friend and biographer J. Randy Terborelli opens up about Michael's greatest fear and how having kids changed him for the better.
I think that Michael started looking at himself and his life differently when he had his own children.
J. Randy Terborelli, longtime friend of Michael Jackson, offers new insight in his re-released biography, Michael Jackson, The Magic, The Madness, The Whole Story. One observation learned through years of interviews, Michael's kids were instrumental in helping the King of Pop shed demons that had plagued him for decades.
He started to not talk as much about his lost childhood and all of that business, and he made sure his kids called him Daddy, for instance. That's where it started. he called his dad Joseph. His kids were not going to be calling him Michael. That was from the very beginning. He called me Daddy. I want you to think of me as your father. And boy, did they ever. And he started forging a relationship with his children that became the focus. And no longer was his focus, have you seen my childhood?
Paris, Prince, and Blanket also became Michael's inspiration to return to the stage.
The original idea behind the tour was that Michael Jackson really wanted to perform for his kids. He said that he wanted to be able to go out on stage and do this thing while he was still young enough to be able to do it, and while they were now old enough to be able to understand what he was doing.
But Jay Randy says Michael likely would not have encouraged the kids to follow in his footsteps while young, fearing fame might bring on the worst.
His big fear was that they're going to come after my kids, that someone's going to kidnap my kids, and this is why he made them wear the masks and all that crazy stuff that they used to wear.
But now everyone knows these faces as the kids stepped out of the shadows at Michael's memorial to remember their father.
Even though this was a terrible moment, they looked like they were having happy lives. And then when Paris said what she said, you felt like, oh man, and they really love their daddy too. So in that respect, I think it was a real humanizing moment for Michael Jackson.
It could be quite a while before we actually see any charges filed in the Michael Jackson case.
After all, it took 2 years for prosecutors to file charges in connection with Anna Nicole Smith's death. And Tuesday, Howard K. Stern and 2 of her doctors went back before a judge.
Megan Tebrizine is outside the courthouse in downtown LA with the details. Megan.
Chris, that's right. It's been more than 2 years since the death of Anna Nicole Smith, and finally a preliminary date hearing has been set for the criminal investigation. That date is October 5th. Lawyers for all 3 defendants were here, as well as the defendants, where they all pled not guilty. The 3 defendants are Anna Nicole's lawyer and former boyfriend, Howard K. Stern, and Smith's 2 doctors, Dr. Sanjeev Kapoor and Dr. Christina Rosevich, who are all charged in connection with the death of Anna Nicole.
Today we were rearranged. That is, we were asked to plead not guilty. So essentially we're starting all over again. We're all trying to work together for the common goal of getting these cases dismissed and resolving all these matters, hopefully before trial.
The last time we saw Howard K. Stern and the other 2 defendants was in court in May, when they were arraigned on 6 felony accounts of conspiring to provide drugs to Smith. Your client, a lot of people are painting Howard Stern as an enabler. How do you tend to fight that?
That's something that you'll see us address when we're in a courtroom, not in a public forum such as this. He's holding up okay. Obviously, he'd like to get this behind him, and so would we, and that's why we look forward to finally getting into court on October 5th.
All right, thanks, Megan. And now to news on the world's most famous celebrity couple.
That's right, Brad and Angelina, who whipped up a red carpet frenzy on Monday night at the premiere of Brad's new movie, Inglourious Bastard.
Our own Mark Isto caught up with the super couple and found out what a simple wave from Brad can do to a crowd.
It's always a big deal when you premiere a Quentin Tarantino movie, but it's an even bigger deal when Brad Pitt is in the house. Yeah, you and Angie made all those fans' day when you walked out there and said hello. Is that still fun to see that reaction?
No, it is fun. I mean, you know, we're here in the middle, really the heart of Hollywood Boulevard, where tourists come every day. So, yeah, I think it's kind of special to be right on the spot in front of the Chinese. Yeah.
It's fun, right? It's fun. It's like you wave and they yell.
That was fun. I'm putting together a special team. We're going to be doing one thing and one thing only. Killing Nazis. Sound good? Yes, sir!
I had read the script and I saw Brad, rehearsing and playing with it at home, so I knew it was going to be a good film. But it's classic Quentin Tarantino. But I think Brad's great, and I think everybody's great, in fact. So I hope people enjoy it.
You first worked with Quentin, what was it, 17 years ago on True Romance?
Yeah, it was. I don't know how long ago, but it was a long time ago.
Was it worth the wait to get a chance to work with him again?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he writes his characters first and then picks the actor. And so I was really happy that he wrote a good redneck part.
You probably heard we ain't into prisoner taking business. We into killing Nazi business. And cousin, business is booming.
And I heard that you had a lot of fun with Alder Raines, carrying the accent around offset, staying in character. How much fun is that?
It's a bit of it's a fun accent, but it's so precise. You know, that you slip out of gear very easily. So you gotta stay in there on that one.
I'm a Texas native, so you can slip back into that.
Yeah, and you could easily go. I could go back into Oklahoma or Missouri, and I needed to say Tennessee.
Actually, we're all tickled to hear you say that.
Well, coming up on this Michael Jackson special edition of Hollywood 411, I speak to a man who saw a side of Michael that very few ever did.
He's Harrison Funk, the King of Pop's personal photographer. He'll show us some rare photographs of Michael next.